Hello, I am Kyle Daniel. This is my Saints and Sinners project, and I have chosen Aaron Hernandez. Aaron Hernandez grew up in Bristol, Connecticut. He came from a two-parent household. He was a football star in high school. He played football for the University of Florida and played pro football for the New England Patriots. Aaron Hernandez was convicted for the murder of Odin Lloyd and charged with the murder of Daniel Abreu and Safiro Furtado. Aaron Hernandez committed suicide in jail, and after he died, there was questions about his sexuality. People thought he was gay. He had gay lovers come out, but it's not confirmed. But we will discuss all of this in the rest of the project. So when looking at Aaron's psychodynamic, his ego, super ego, I saw a few things. So when it said that when he murdered three people, I immediately thought of his aggressive drives. And when I saw him with his homosexual history in high school, it also fed his id, which is like his pleasure principle, which is like his basic sexual needs, which I think were kind of, you know, corrupted, not right. We'll touch on why it's not right later. And his super ego, which is like his expression to like his moral conscious. I don't think he had any way to control his emotions because he killed three people. So I think his super ego was also messed up, and his ego, which is like the balancing factor, he killed himself in jail because he wants to like he wants he wanted to use the money somehow to better his family. So maybe his way to justify everything he's done bad in his life, his ego tells him just to kill himself, and the money goes to his family to help out his family for all the wrong he's been doing. So as a young boy, Aaron was sexually molested by family members. It doesn't specify who did it, but I think it was his dad or his brothers. But it happened around the genital stage, which is like 11 to puberty. So I think him being sexually molested interfered with a lot with his sexuality and like who he think he was, and maybe it interfered with like his emotions in general, where he doesn't know how to cope with certain emotions because he's dealt with so much trauma as a child, being sexually molested. And back to Freud's theory of everything relates back to sex. I think this one does because in later on, after he dies, people come out and say, yeah, he was gay, or yeah, he had sexual relations. So I think him having been molested as a kid led to him looking at the same sex as maybe that's the right way. So maybe he was gay, or maybe he was just very confused at the time, because like when he became an adult, he had a wife and a child, and he had no more gay tendencies that we know of. So looking at Aaron's humanistic values, I looked at Maslow's hierarchy of needs and how they applied to Aaron in any way. And when I looked at physiological needs, he had all that. He was rich in the NFL. He got more money, a big house. But once he got convicted, or when he killed Odin Lloyd, his safety and security was compromised. He was very insecure. He had set up cameras all over his house. He had bought all these weapons and stuff. He got very insecure. He was very aggressive and angry. With family problems, he had very love and belongingness. He had family problems, so that was compromised. He was always asking for money. His dad died, and he just couldn't handle a lot of it. Self esteem was messed up because of his complicated childhood, like we talked about. The molestation, the he might have been gay or not, the football, it was just too much. And his actualization, my bad. Um, when he realized that he had life in prison, he was like, "Oh, I don't know what to do now." And his next step was take care of my family and my daughter. So he said he would kill himself, and his money, as the NFL owed him, would go to his family, and that's what he did. So when studying Aaron's traits, I went to use the Ising's personality scale, and well, it's pretty straightforward. He was very impulsive, aggressive, and touchy. So his personality moved towards the more unstable side, and that's that's about it. Actually, he was just very unstable. He didn't have a really good grasp and control over his personality, over his traits. He couldn't control himself. So what I think is most important aspect of studying Aaron Hernandez and why he did the things he did was to look at his social cognitive, which is basically, the environment you're in and how everything influences you. I think it's just like he has a very aggressive and like testosterone filled life dealing with football and all that. So we know he came from a aggressive, and his dad used to beat him, and his dad was just a macho guy and taught him just to hit everything like head on. But what we want to touch on is when he went to University of Florida. He was, I think he was 17 years old, and the team at the time was notorious for just being a bunch of just like thugs, and just like the team was like actually crazy because they won a championship that year, but it was like Tim Tebow and the Pouncey twins. But he went to a very aggressive and a very mature football team. I think there, like, it really breeded his aggressive tendencies even more because, like, his first weekend there on his visit, he got in a fight at a bar. He's 17 years old, and he beat up some guy at the bar. And it got covered up because it's a college town. But he just went to a very aggressive team, and just football is just a very aggressive sport. And going to the Patriots, he was still aggressive. Oh, let's not forget when he was in high school, he had no tattoos. He went to the University of Florida. He came off of that team, and before he went to the pros, he was covered in tattoos. He just had a whole personality change, in the environment he was in. And when he was a pro in football, he hung out with the wrong people outside of football. Like, not even like players, just normal civilians who just weren't a good environment for him. But when he was around his family and his wife and his daughter, or his fiance at the time, he was calm, he was collected. We could just see like how influenced he is by his environment and who's around and people he's with. Like, after he killed Odin, he went home and he played with his daughter. No, like an hour afterwards. So you can just see how much he's influenced by his environment and who he's around and who he's with, which is a very big factor in like him killing Odin Lloyd and two other people that weren't really charged, but I think he did it. But like when he killed Odin, he was with two of the people who just weren't good people. So I think if he was just he's very influenced by his environment and surroundings. Yeah. So I don't know how I'm supposed to end this project, but that's basically how what I think about Aaron Hernandez and why he killed those people. He just had a very troubled childhood, and like, the environment he was in and all the confusion in his life. Also, he had CTE. That's a whole different topic to discuss. That would be a good project too when we do that. I do a project on his CTE and how it was serious and how it influenced his killing. But yeah, I have mono, so my voice is kind of hoarse right now. But I finally did the project. I know you're proud of me. Thank you. Took a lot of hard work. Um, yeah, so this is just making the project longer. Don't get mad though. It's not even that long. It's like 8 minutes. Probably like 9 minutes by now, but it's whatever. All right, thank you. All right, adios.